Holy fabric, we have so much to talk about. You see what I did there? It's an all-new Project Runway Season 17, Episodes 1 and 2. Let's do it.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's up, AfterBuzzers? We're here for Project Runway, Season 17, Episodes 1 and 2. I'm your host, Jessica O'Connor, and I'd like you guys to meet my lovely co-host.
Hello, it's Bianca Rose, your friend, your fashionable, funny, kind of not so fabulous friend.
Well, we have time. We'll get fabulous.
Yes.
It's only Episode 1.
We'll get there.
Holy cow. Where do we even start?
I'm excited.
It's a whole new Project Runway.
I'm excited.
It's been 17 seasons, so it kind of came to that point in the show where changes needed to be made.
Mm-hmm.
So starting off with channel, it's no longer on Lifetime, it's on Bravo, and changing networks is a risk. Do you think that was the right move for the show?
I think the landscape of Bravo is a better one to plant this seed. So I think it's a perfect new home.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's way more
Bravo.
on brand. Bravo, bravo.
Bravo.
No, you're totally right. When I think of the Lifetime channel, I think of serial killers.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but this is a better spot.
Totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
And along with channel, they also had a huge change in hosts.
Yes.
We went from Heidi Klum to Carly Kloss.
Who I love Heidi Klum, and so going into the change of host, I wasn't so sure, but I think she's great.
Me too.
Yeah.
And Heidi Klum, those are enormous shoes to fill.
Mm-hmm.
She is an icon in the fashion industry, the modeling industry, the entertainment industry. She is a host not only on Project Runway, but she did America's Got Talent as well.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure Carly felt the same way. She was. I don't know what her prep work. Yeah, me too. I don't know what her prep work was, but I think she went right into it and was really, really great.
I agree. And I had a moment, I was talking to you about this earlier, where I pouted a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
no, we want Heidi. We want Heidi.
I like the old judges, and they've been doing it for 16 seasons. It was hard to let go. When I saw Carly and I saw Christian Serrano in the workroom at first, I had a little bit of trouble with it. Did you have the same experience?
But honestly, it goes, pun intended maybe, it's seamless. It really was. Yeah, see what I did there?
We're going to be making fashion puns all night.
But it really was. I kind of was holding my breath because I wasn't really sure. But Carly was great. Christian is great.
And I feel like they have really good natural chemistry, the two of them together. They're from the same generation. They're both in this new wave of fashion.
You know what?
I think it works.
Maybe that's what it was. Not maybe. I'm sure that's what it was all for. It was just time for something new, the next generation, to get a new, just the next gen into it.
Yeah, I noticed in episode 1 as well, there's a big focus on Instagram now.
Yes. But with the change of the host, it being broadening it to the next generation, what I still love about the show that is the diversity of the designers
in age.
Yeah, in age specifically. That's what I do love. So
oh yeah, it goes up to
you?
I love that as well. It goes from early 20s to mid 50s.
Yeah.
And I don't think any other reality show has that kind of range.
I don't think so. It makes it just on it for me being in my sort of second act too. It makes it, it makes it just so inspiring. So I love that. So it's kind of all the worlds combined. I love it.
Could not agree more. And the only other thing I really wanted to talk about for episode 1 that I found interesting is the amount of product placement.
Yes, we see Maybelline and
Tresemme.
Yes.
And Instagram. They're definitely putting they're not trying to hide the capitalism.
I was just about to say, and it wasn't subdued. It was it was there.
It wasn't, okay, take your girls to hair and makeup. It was, take your models to the Tresemme hair salon.
Yeah. So, but at least they got some good ones.
True. And you know what? I don't knock the hustle.
Yeah, maybe we'll,
you get your endorsements where you can get them.
Next episode we'll have to do all Maybelline, maybe.
Don't mind me with my taking a hairspray break. I mean, trust me, if you guys are looking,
yeah, we're here.
down. We're
Maybelline.
down.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Maybe you're born with it.
Yes.
I don't know.
I like it.
I guess we'll have to see. But other than that, did you have any other episode 1 standout moments?
Honestly, it was the change. It was the changes for me that was just kind of like, okay, how is this gonna go? And then this episode, in episode 2, is when I started to.
I agree. I think we got a way better feel for not only the judges but also the designers.
Yes, and there's a really talented group of designers too.
I think that that's something that Project Runway always knocks out of the park is the casting.
And for me, you kind of think they found everybody. They've gotten the best, but no, it's always like this really great group of designers. And for this conceptual challenge, they knocked it out of the park.
Absolutely. So let's talk about that conceptual challenge. It was so the designers walked into the workroom and you see this line of like moving heads. And I kind of was like,
not mannequins, but heads.
Exactly. So from afar, you thought, okay, maybe this is mannequins. And then the closer you got, you're like, oh, these people are blinking and breathing. They are alive.
People. I know.
So the challenge was body modifications. And it was a neck piece, chest piece,
and the
shoulders.
Yes.
So the ultimate challenge was, what will fashion look like 5 minutes into the future? Yeah. So what would you do in this challenge?
Honestly, I mean, maybe I'm just like...
Put your designer hat on for a second.
Maybe, I don't know, I kind of think unicorns are real. So I really loved the ones that were on the back. And I would have wanted to do some sort of headpiece to make it, seem like there was like a unicorn and do that kind of a unicorn theme. I loved it.
I love that too.
Yeah.
I think I liked the creepy neck piece.
I actually saw that. Did you see?
Yes, let's talk about that.
Kim Kardashian did wear that. I forget, was a while ago on her Instagram when Kim Kardashian wore the light up.
So the neck piece was worn by Kim, and then the chest feathers were designed by Chrissy Teigen. Yeah. And I don't know if you noticed, but the guy who introduced it was Simon Huck, and he's a big part of that KKW squad. So yeah, I mean, this was no joke. This is high fashion. This is worn and designed by the biggest people in the entertainment industry. So no pressure.
No pressure. and ironically though, and this would have been probably intimidating to them, because I do remember Kim and Chrissy wearing those pieces.
I do as well.
I remember it. I remember it on their Instagram. So I'm sure with that being on the forefront of their mind, that much more of a challenge.
Oh, absolutely. And to make it even more challenging, it was not an individual challenge, but a group challenge.
That's where it got sticky. Yes. Yeah, real
and
sticky.
In episode 1, I remember everyone being all kumbaya, let's braid each other's hair. And episode 2 is the beginning of the rivalries.
Yeah.
I saw some rivalries born. I don't know about you.
But you know what? I'm just gonna, I don't know if this is the time, but I kind of want to make early predictions, and I think it might be.
Okay, I'm here for it.
Okay, so I'm Team Hester.
Okay.
Listen.
Okay, tell me why.
Okay, listen, and here are the bad things everybody said about her. They called her a parrot. They called her high-strung.
They called her a...
Freddy Krueger.
Where I wrote it down, a high-strung baby. Yes, I liked that one. Yes.
But I am Team Hester.
Okay.
I love her. I kind of wanted to even, I'm like, if you guys are out there and have any more Team Hesters, like, come along.
You know who she reminded me of? Who? Edna Mode from The Incredibles. Oh. Like, if she swallowed Lisa Frank.
Good one.
Right?
Good one. Yes.
If they had a baby or something?
She actually totally reminded me of Betsy Johnson. And then she ended up working for her, but loved her. So
in the rivalry of Hester versus Nadine, you are Team Hester.
Yeah, and her last name's Sunshine, and I just kind of wanted to. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. I love that. I'm gonna go for Team Hester.
Okay,
early on. I know.
I like Hester as well. I like her aesthetic. I think she's quirky. I think she's fun. I think she's a great addition to the show. But just for the sake of argument, I'll play Nadine's devil's advocate.
Okay.
I'm not saying I'm Team Nadine, but I see her frustration because Hester is a short fuse.
Yes.
And I can relate to Hester in that way where if things aren't going exactly to plan, she kind of starts to self-destruct.
What do you think? I feel like Hester specifically, and that's why I think I'm gonna just keep on her, because I think it's because it's so early. I think she's getting the jitters out still.
Okay.
I think
I could see that.
And I think Nadine is more
She's
mature.
seasoned.
She's more seasoned. She's more comfortable. She has it. She really, really does. So,
and I think that's why she's like, I don't have time for this girl.
She ain't got time for that.
She's like, I have confidence. I know who I am as a designer. This girl isn't there yet.
Yeah. Any other Team Nadiners, let us know.
Let us know. Yeah, comment below. # Team Hester. # Team Nadine.
Yeah.
How does everybody feel? But also, I will say the root of all of these problems started with the tool.
Yes, I know.
We have to talk about the tool.
I know. And I being Team Hester, that one is actually hard to justify. To justify, because I was like, girl, listen, you need to get, but she really was stuck with it. She's like, 3 kinds of tools. This is her thing.
It's totally her aesthetic, though.
That was her thing. And it made it tough for her in the end. So hopefully she's learned her lesson.
Well, for me, when Christian came to the workroom and said, this looks like a cheap bridesmaid.
Yeah. Don't. That's not what you want to hear.
I burst into tears. I mean, I understand why she cried. You don't want to hear that from your mentor.
No.
That you look like it. I mean, that in the fashion world is the biggest.
Yeah. You don't want to hear that. No. You don't want to hear that. No.
I don't know. I think that could have been a mistake, but I don't know. I also think another moment we should talk about is my guy COVID. First of all,
yes.
He, and it might be a little early to say this too, but so far he is my favorite character of the show.
Yes.
He has, in my opinion, the best energy. He's so dancey and fun, and he keeps it light in this competition that is so high stress. So for me, when I saw him having this breakdown, I was like,
yeah,
oh, my little baby. Like he was not, just wasn't his week.
I know, and everyone felt it too.
Yeah,
everyone felt it.
Everyone kept commenting.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully we don't see that side of him anymore. It's really stressful.
I mean, that environment, there's the time crunch.
Yes.
You can visually see your competition at all times. So you can't help but compare yourself. And so I think the combination of the time construct and then just literally the visual comparison, it just eats at you.
And it seems like they all, at least their team, they all had to start over again. So you know, and that's the hard part too. So that was
were they the weakest team in your opinion?
Yeah.
Was that deserved?
Do
you think the judges got it right?
They did.
I agree.
They really did get that right.
I agree. So let's talk about that. So the high team was the winner of the challenge was Sebastian.
Yes.
So let's talk about the high looks first.
Oh my gosh.
Your favorite of those.
Oh my gosh. Sebastian. It was really magical. I don't know how to sew at all. I mean, maybe I can stitch a little button
in home
or
ec.
something.
Do you remember in home ec they would make you sew like a teddy bear along the lines?
Yes, but
that's where I graduated.
I think what did they say? Said there was a mermaid that emerged from the sea, and that's exactly what it looked like. It was beautiful, flawless.
And
that was my favorite one, actually. My favorite look.
Me too.
Yeah.
That was my favorite look, but he not only cranked out a killer look, but he put the team on his back.
Yeah.
He helped everyone.
At least, though, the team gave him credit, which I wasn't expecting it.
I wasn't either.
I wasn't expecting it either, but no, they gave him the credit, which was really nice.
And I think that is the mark of a true designer, when you can help everyone else, but then still knock out your look out of the park.
It's the real world. That's a team.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But in the fashion world, teamwork doesn't always come through, as we saw in our bottom team. And we already said we think they got the bottom totally right. I mean, Frankie.
Yeah.
Oh, my girl,
Renee.
and COVID, like, Frankie especially I want to talk about, though, because she was in the bottom last week. And she had this bodysuit that I cringed so hard when she was pointing at her bodysuit, and as she was pointing to a piece of her bodysuit, fabric literally fell off.
I know.
So the judges gave her the benefit of the doubt. They said, we want to see more from you. You got to bring it next week.
Yeah.
And then 1 week later, she finds herself right back in the bottom.
I know. Poor girl.
I feel like the judges really did her a solid, because I was even a little mad last week. I thought she should have gotten the boot week 1. But you know what? I fell for her personality too. She's very sweet. She's very warm.
But she didn't really come with it as much as I thought she would this week, considering last episode 1.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I mean, there should have been a fire under her, and she was just ice skating along like there was nothing
well, she
wrong.
Covered up the
chest.
beauty of what they were supposed to be exposing. So she did that.
As soon as I saw this line to cover the chest, I thought,
wait a second,
this is going to be hard for her to pull out of.
Yes. I'm like, well, maybe at least should have put that on the back, or I don't know. But you were covering up the beauty of the assignment, the challenge.
Yeah, and when you're given a second chance, you don't want to find yourself in the bottom, because that's almost a guaranteed ticket home. If you're given this chance by the judges, this gift, take it. Take
it and be on top. But Sebastian was hard to beat, though. I mean,
there was...
Going back to him, that was
Well,
beautiful.
let's just talk about that for a second. The stark difference in just talent, execution, fabric, everything between Sebastian and Frankie. It's really night and day.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a competition.
It's a competition. And it is true. Somebody's got to go.
And she said that herself. She knew. Yeah. That's when I knew she knew.
She said somebody has to go.
She hugged COVID and she was like, I don't want to go home, but somebody's got to do it. And I was like,
oh, it's you.
Like, you're admitting defeat.
Yes, yeah.
But my girl, I do feel for her, because she admitted in episode 1 that she had just gone through a breakup with her boyfriend of 9 years.
Yeah.
And she was prepared to move in with this boyfriend. Her future was quite literally swept out from under her. She put everything she had into this competition. So to go home only 2 episodes into the season has to be a little heartbreaking.
She's so sweet. We might have to do some follow up and see what she has going on now.
I would love to. Yeah, I would. I think should be everyone's homework assignment for tonight. Look up Frankie on Instagram. Let's figure out what she's up to. Let's find her new man.
Yes. Actually, that's another thing. I mean, all of the reality shows have, we see their lives and their backstories, but there's something about this show that there's just this inspiration, from whether it be their age or their background. I just love it.
And of course, that's what makes this show so great, is the diversity in not only, we didn't even touch on this from episode 1. Obviously, we have diverse designers, but we have so many inclusive models this season.
That's right. Yes.
The first ever trans model.
And she was first to come out. I said, you better work.
She was the star.
Yeah.
She was absolutely the star. And her and COVID had a really great intimate moment in episode 1. And she confided in him that she was the first trans model ever on the show. And COVID's jaw dropped. And his reaction was so sweet and so genuine. He goes, I'm so honored. Like, thank you. And that, to me, was just a turning point in the show. So we can only go up from here.
Who else? I actually do love Afa.
Yes.
Afa.
He's from Samoa. That's another diverse
Samoa.
background.
Yes, has a little baby at home.
We have the designer from Jamaica. We have people from, Sebastian. He's from Colombia.
Yes.
His story is inspiring as well, that
Yes,
he was
yes,
working for the top designers in Colombia and said, you know what? No, I want a career for myself. I want to make it in the United States.
Yeah.
Which is interesting to me that in most designers' minds, the United States is still the pinnacle of fashion.
Yeah, right. It's exciting.
Because he could have moved to Paris. He could have moved to Milan. He could have moved to any of these other major fashion cities, but he said, no, New York City, I want to be on Project Runway.
Yeah, I love it. I'm excited.
I am too.
I'm excited.
I'm very excited.
What else?
I just want to talk about, I guess, the judge's deliberation for a second.
Yeah.
I had a really great quote from Elaine. She was talking to Tessa and she said, there's no such thing as a bossy woman, only boss women.
Hey now.
I think I'm going to paint that on my wall tonight, above my bed or something.
So we can meditate on that.
It's a great reminder.
Yeah.
I mean, she said that, and I actually was like, I want to write that down.
Yeah.
Because especially, I feel like in the fashion industry, boss women are portrayed in the media and pop culture as just like these she-devils, like Miranda Priestley, Devil Wears Prada.
Yes.
Like, do you think that's a big stereotype for women in fashion?
I'm sure, and I'm sure it's one that they have to deal with all of the time. And yes, they do have to be stern. Yes, they do have to be as disciplined and tough and all of that. It just gets swayed to being called something else. So yeah, that was a great quote. I loved it.
Absolutely. And Brandon Maxwell said he wanted to be medicated after this season.
He said, by the time this season is over, I will be medicated. Yes.
And yeah, I mean, I see where he's coming from. There are such stark differences in the tops and the bottoms.
Yeah, I know. Actually, very much. But you know what? And we'll see when even episodes 3 and 4 come along. Will we be surprised? That's what makes it exciting also. Will we be surprised?
So let's jump into that. Predictions. Who do you think... Do you have a... Ooh, oh.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
We couldn't start without the spooky music.
Of course not.
So, okay, it's episode 2. It's very, very, very early in the competition, but if you had to pick one just based off what we've seen.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. I'm going for it. Yep,
Hester.
Hester. I'm going for Team Hester.
Okay, tell me why.
I just love her quirkiness. I really, really do. And I think with her, she's actually we're going to see her maturity. I think we're going to see that, and I would love to see that arc in the show. I would.
Okay, so, yeah, and my prediction probably isn't going to surprise you. I'm going with Sebastian.
I knew it.
He has just come in so hot.
I knew it.
And he has craftsmanship.
Yeah.
For me personally, when you looked at his garments up close, there was not a stitch out of place. Yeah. There was no extra string. It was just so precise.
Yeah, and he's also very even-keeled too.
Yes.
You know?
Which is key in a competition like this.
Goodness, he made his garment, he made a purse, he made he did it all. So he's also very even-keeled. I don't know, maybe that's why I'm you are my sunshine, because I kind of want to see that maturity and see some growth and maybe see her make and help and be a good team sport and not have people call her high-strung baby. Yeah.
Do you foresee any new rivalries on the forefront? Do you think this Hester and Nadine one's going to get worse? Do you see other people clashing?
Ooh, probably. Maybe Nadine and my girl. Yeah.
I don't ever see them seeing eye to eye.
Yeah, I don't see them getting along.
I don't think they're gonna skip arm in arm,
guys. No, I don't think so. Not in the workplace or even socially at the apartment.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I don't foresee that getting any better.
Probably not. We'll see.
But I guess only time will tell. It's only episode 2. There's so much to go from here. I'm excited.
Me too. When he said that whose was it? He said that the fabric looked tortured. Oh gosh, shoot. God, but Christian said it about someone, and I said, "Ooh, ouch!" Like that's just
There
those
were some
things where you just
there were
do
some sick
not-
burns in this episode.
they were burns.
Yeah, I remember Nina said that someone went from 0 to hero, or hero to 0, and I'm like, ooh.
So we've got hero to 0. We've got a bad bridesmaid's dress. We've got fabric that looks tortured.
Need for medication.
Yeah.
It wasn't an easy week.
No,
It
no,
wasn't.
no.
It was tough. Group challenges always are. But I guess we'll just wrap into our final thoughts.
Yeah, okay.
Give me your thoughts on episode 2.
Episode 2, I'm gonna be, like I said, early prediction, but I'm going Team Hester. I do want to see her maturity and growth, but I'm really looking forward to seeing all of the Sebastian's work because he really is amazing.
I'm looking forward to hopefully an individual challenge next week. I think that the group challenges are fun.
Yeah.
But I would like to see more of each designer's individual aesthetic
Yeah.
because I didn't feel like they got to do much of that this week. As opposed to episode 1, where you kind of got to see, you know, Tessa's really minimalist and Sebastian's really sexy, Hester's really quirky.
Yeah.
And in this challenge, it was a lot more uniform. So I'm excited for next week. Hopefully, we get to see more of the designers' individual
I'd be into that.
aesthetics.
Yeah, I'd be into that. I'd be way into that.
I'm so into it, but we have to wait until next week. We have 7 more days. We'll be right back here for episode 3, though. I'm Jessica O'Connor. You can find me on social media at Jessica O'Connor. That's my Instagram. And I'm going to do a Twitter eventually, but I don't have one this week, so off to you.
And you can find me, Bianca Rose, at Sweet Dreams LA. If there are any other Team Hesters, let me know.
Yeah, leave us some comments. We would love to hear Team Hester, Team Nadine, Team Sebastian, and we'll link back up next week. Thanks, guys.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.